Alright guys, I'm going to do 2.7 compositional function. Apology, I have children in the house, so if you hear weird sound, you know those are children. Alright, so let me just give you an example. If I have f of x is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so you know that's a function f, so this is where the input goes to. And given the input, this is what you're going to do. You're going to square the input minus 2 times the input plus 1. So for example, if I give you f of -1, this time I'm telling you your input is going to be -1. So what are you going to do with the -1? You're going to take the -1, plug it into where the x is. Oh, yeah, shh. Stop making this. Stop. No. And then equal to -1 squared is 1 plus 2 plus 1. That's going to be 4. Okay. So today we're going to combine functions together, and that's called a compositional function. All right, example 1, let g of x be 3x plus 1, let g of 2 be c. So the function g is given. Would I be able to figure out what g of 2 is? Yes, you're going to take that 2, plug it into where the g is, right? So g of 2 is 3 times 2 plus 1, that is 7. G of 2 is 7. G of 2 is 7, so C is going to be 7. Please go ahead and find G of 7 this time. So we're going to take that 7, plug it into over here. So 3 times the input is 7 plus 1, that's going to be 22. Okay? All right. 2 ways you can write down the compositional function, like f of g of x or f of g of x. These two represent the same thing, and we read it as f of g of x. Okay? All right. When we do that, you always want to start from the inside. So for this one, you start with the g of x and plug that into f of x. This one, you start from the right side. G of x goes to f of x. Okay? Important note, they are not communicative, meaning that f of g of x is not same as g of f of x. Okay? All right. Evaluating. When working with the composite functions, we first evaluate the inside first or the right side, then we're going to use that output as an input. So let's look at this problem together. F of x is this, g of x is this. We are looking for f of g of 3. Where do we start again? You always want to start with the inside, g of 3. Well, that's a easy peasy. What do? Take that 3, you're going to plug it into where the input goes for function g. So wouldn't it be 2 times 3 plus 1? That's going to be 7. Okay, so g of 3 is 7. So the part I circle is 7, folks. Now you're going to do f of 7. Folks, these two are the same thing. Why? Because g of 7, we just find out that is same as the 7. Excuse me, g of 3 is same as 7. Now, use the function f this time. So it's going to be 3 times the input. 3 times the input, 7. Minus 5 is 16. Okay. All right, what about this one? Start from the inside. We're going to start with the f of 3. What is f of 3? Take that 3, plug it into where input goes. 3 times 3 minus 5 is 4. I am saying that f of 3 is 4. So this whole problem becomes g of 4. How do you find g of 4? Your input goes here. Honestly, the worst thing you can do is just mix up your function, right? So make sure you're using the correct function, because this one has 2 of them. What about this one? F of 2. I personally don't like this notation. I personally like f of 2. Visually, this makes more sense to me. So I'm going to start with the inside. So what is f of 2? Take 2, plug it into where input goes 2. So 3 times 2 minus 5 is 1. So f of 2 is 1. This is 1. Now this problem becomes f of 1. How do you do that? Take that 1, plug into where input goes to. 3 times 1 minus 5 is -2. Okay. Now this time, so these ones, all your answers are number, right? Which somehow it's easier. Sometimes the question asks you, not necessarily a numeric value, but with specific input value. For example, look at this one. Usually the x was like a number, right? 3 or 2. This one, you're just using g of x. Please don't be scared. It's the same thing. You're going to start with the g of x inside. And what is the g of x equal to? 2x plus 1. So this is 2x plus 1. right? So now this problem becomes f of 2x plus 1. You're going to take 2x plus 1. That becomes an input for function f. What does that mean? You're going to take this 2x plus 1, the whole thing, and plug it into where the x goes, like this. 3 times 2x plus 1 minus 5. Right? Like visually, like f of, over here. F of x, f of input is 3 input minus 5. F of input is 3 times the input minus 5. So these are the same thing, except instead of x, I put the 2x plus 1 in. Now you just have to simplify it. Boop, boop. That is 6x plus 3 minus 5. That is 6x minus 2. As you can see, my answer is in terms of the x, not with the number. What about this one? That's just preference. I want to write a g of f of x. Okay, so we start from the inside, which is f of x. What is f of x equal to? 3x minus 1. 3x minus 5. So g of 3x minus 5 equal to, what is a function g? So g of input is 2 times the input plus 1. G of input is 2 times the input plus 1. You see what I'm doing? Right here? 2x is 2x plus 1. I mean, g of x is 2x plus 1. G of input is 2 times the input plus 1. And I just put that 3x minus 5 in there. Boop. I got 6x minus 10 plus 1 is 6x minus 9. Okay? All right, let's look at the problem. Example 5. This one was from the AP exam practice, I think. The figure shows the function f. I don't know about you, there's a lot going on, so I'm just going to put the f big there. So I know that's the function f. What about the function g? Function g is given as a equation of the function. So make sure you're using the correct one. Function h is defined in such that h of x is g of f of x. Find the value of h of 6. Okay, so h of 6, I'm just going to take the 6 and plug into x, is same as g of f of 6. Is same as g of f of 6. Right? And so instead of x, I just put the 6 in. In other words, we're trying to figure out what g of f of 6 is. Start from the inside. Can you tell me what f of 6 is? Yeah. How? First of all, are we using the graph or the equation? It's a function f. Graph. When input is a 6, what's the output? Input is a 6, your output is 1. So f of 6 is 1. Now we are looking for g of 1. What are we using? Graph or the equation? For g, we're going to use the equation. So g of 1 is equal to, really, wouldn't you just take that 1 and plug it into wherever you see the x is? It's going to be 1.2, 1 cubed minus 4.7, 1 plus 9.62. Right? Because this time don't miss a number. So take the 1, plug it in all your x's. So PEMDAS, please. 1.2 minus 4.7 plus 9.62. I don't feel like doing it, but you guys can figure it out. I think it's a positive number. All right, we're skipping the next one. Feel free to try it because I'm going to put the key up on the Google Classroom so you can check it. That's just extra problems. What about number 7? All right. This looks like very complicated, but not really. So the top rows are your input value, x value. The second row is so for example, f of 0 is going to be negative 1. F of 2 is going to be 1. And then the last row is a function g. G of negative 2 is going to be 1. G of 0 is going to be negative 1. Do you understand what's going on? Okay, so we're looking for h of 1. So h of 1 is f of g of 1. Start with the inside. What is g of 1? Okay, so input is a 1. Function g of 1 is going to be 0. That's a 0. Now, what is f of 0? When input is a 0, f of 0 is negative 1. Next, this one I do want you to pay attention because this is going to be the hardest thing you see, although it's not really hard. Okay. Where do we start? We're going to start with the g of x. And what is g of x? 3x plus 5. So I'm going to take that, plug it in here. So it's going to be f of 3x plus 5. equal to. Well, what would that look like? Let's visit f of x. F of the input is input squared minus 3 times input plus 7. F of input is input squared minus 3 times the input plus 7. So don't forget to plug that 3x plus 5 into everywhere you see the x's. Okay? All right, let's simplify it. No, I'm not happy I'm not there with you because this is my biggest pet peeve, one of the biggest. Can I distribute that square inside? Oh no, you can't do that because there's a plus in the middle. So you actually have to write it out twice, like this, and FOIL it. Then you get 9x squared plus 15x plus 15x plus 25. Distribute this, negative 9x minus 15, and then don't forget that plus 7 at the end. Simplify, combine the like terms, 9x squared, and that's a 30x minus 9x is plus 21x. Boop, 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 plus 32. Folks, that is letter C. After this video, you're going to do one problem like that. I think I put that on the Delta Math, so make sure you do that. And once you're done with that, you are done with your lesson now, then you can move on to your IP and work on it. Email me any question you have. Thank you.